Now, how did you get through law school and how did you pass the bar? Because this makes no sense. Hi everyone, my name is Sephora. I'm an attorney and a life coach, and today's video is going to be all about the truth about law school. Dun dun dun. The truth about law school and how it can change your life. That is what we are talking about today. Okay, so if you are an aspiring attorney, if you are an aspiring law student, then this video is for you, and I encourage you to check out my law school playlist where you can see all of my law school videos. So without further ado, let's learn the truth about law school. Number one, okay, law school puts you in an environment that can literally change your life. Law school is like nothing else you will have ever done before. It's not like undergrad, it's not like any other graduate program, it's not like your job. When you are in law school, you are in an environment with people who have been, for the most part, they were successful in their undergrads, right? I didn't have to study in undergrad, neither did most of the people who are going to be at your law school. They had A's, they did all these great things. Maybe they worked after law school, they teach for America, they had great jobs, whatever it may be. You're going to be in an environment in law school with tons of successful people and tons of people who are going to be successful. And that puts you in a unique position to learn from these people, right? And so law school can change your life because this is probably one of the most condensed in terms of spaces you are going to be in, where there's so many successful people and future successful people around you. And so you could take advantage of that. Go into law school with an open mind and be willing to not only learn from your professor, but also learn from your peers and what it is they have to offer. Because the people who are coming into law school, they have a variety of different experiences. They've gone through things that you haven't gone through. They've learned things that you haven't learned. They come from different backgrounds, different cultures, different experiences. And this is a way for you to learn more, not only about yourself, but also about the world around you, which can only make you a stronger attorney and also a stronger person. So make sure you take advantage of this when you are heading into law school. On that same note, don't go into law school with a chip on your shoulder, because first of all, you will be humbled real quick, okay? You're gonna realize that going into law school as a 1L, you know just as much about the law as the person sitting next to you, because you guys inherently are both 1Ls. And so when you go in being more humble, when you go in with an open mind, you're more likely to retain the information better. You're more likely to develop friendships faster, and you're more likely to develop long-lasting relationships. Number two, the truth about law school and how it can change your life is that the networking opportunities are endless. So when I first started law school, I pretty much started networking immediately. And I don't just mean networking with attorneys or networking with your professors. I also mean networking with, your peers, networking with people in jobs that you want to be in, just networking with the tons of people who you now have access to by virtue of being in law school. So whether that's you're going to these networking events, you're going to these networking fairs, take advantage of all the networking opportunities around you. I don't think there was a single networking opportunity in law school that I did not attend. If BULSA had a networking opportunity with big law firms and small law firms and government entities and public interest jobs coming to the school, I was there. If I was traveling to another school in DC, or I was going to Virginia to talk to judges, which I did do, I was there, right? So take advantage of these networking opportunities, because not only is it a chance for, again, you to learn more about yourself, but it's also an opportunity to build lasting relationships, to learn more about the potential field that you want to be in, to learn more about fields you maybe don't want to be in, and also to gain friendships for life. Some of the people who I have networked with when I was a 1L, when I was a 2L, and even 3L are still people who I talk to this very day. So attorneys who I talk to this very day, senior attorneys, partners at law firms, big government officials, so on and so forth. The key when you are going to these networking events is to make sure that you go in with a genuine intention, right? You aren't going in just saying, I'm just gonna get something out of this, I'm just gonna get a job out of this. In fact, you should go in with the intention of wanting to learn more, because that is truly what networking is, because it's never really guaranteed that you are going to get a job. And so you shouldn't say, well, I'm only going to talk to this person if they can get me a job. And that's also, you know, why I encourage not solely networking with, if say, for example, you want to do big law, not solely networking with big law attorneys. Like, yes, maybe you're going to prioritize big law attorneys, but also be open to networking with people. And guys, ignore me. Well, don't ignore me because I'm talking. But also, you know, network with other people in other areas, because you may find that you have an interest in something that maybe you didn't even know you were interested in, because you just didn't know how it works, or you didn't know what it was. And that's actually, I'll maybe do a video on this. Comment down below, let me know if you want me to do a video on federal clerkships. But when I was going into law school, like when I was applying to law school, I didn't know that I wanted to do federal clerkships. And I've done district court and circuit court clerkship, which, if you're watching this video, you may or may not know, are very difficult to get. I don't know the exact percentage, but the last time I checked a couple years ago, it was like only 3%. Don't quote me on that again. But yeah, when I was going in, right, I didn't know that I wanted to do federal clerkships. And you know, so again, that's just an example of where you may not know you want to do something, or you may not know how something is beneficial to you until you actually talk to someone about it. And so just keep your mind open. So networking is definitely one of the ways that your life can change, and how law school can change you, because it's going to open you up to new people, new experiences, new relationships, new opportunities, new jobs. Like, literally the list goes on. And then again, don't forget to also network with your peers, because just like you, your peers are going into this legal field. They're going into the legal world, and you never know where they're going to end up. You never know when you're going to need them to do you a favor. You never know when they're going to be able to pass along your resume, put in a good word, whatever it may be. Okay, number 3, how law school can change your life is it makes you realize that, and take this with a grain of salt, but it makes you realize that you are not as smart as you think you are. And so this kind of just goes back to what I was saying about going in with the chip on your shoulder, right? There are people in your law school who graduated top of their class. Maybe you graduated top of your class in undergrad. Maybe you did all these things. Maybe you went to this great understand. In all actuality, from my own experience, how that translates to your performance in law school is like minimal, right? There's a lot of factors that go into, and I have videos on this already, like how to get A's in law school. I had multiple semesters with straight A's. In fact, the majority of my semesters were straight A's, and I graduated top of my class. There's like multiple factors to make sure that you graduate with honors or top of your class, or just do well, whatever it may be, whatever your goal is. And it largely depends on doing the right things, and which means knowing the right things to do. That's actually what I prioritize teaching my students, my clients in my law school membership community. If you don't know, I do run a law school membership community. It is for law school applicants and law school students, where I help them submit a successful law school application through multiple steps, where I help them do well, perform well in law school, grades, extracurriculars, like the whole 9. So click the link in my bio, sephoragray.com, and you can learn more. It's Topping the Curve. That is my law school coaching business. You can learn more all about the law school membership community. Okay, but so yeah, so like I was saying, it will humble you in that respect. I think a lot of people, when I was in law school, they were shocked after 1L when they didn't do as well as they thought they were going to do, because it's not a situation where you can just memorize, like, or just fake study or whatever it may be like you did in undergrad. You actually have to take the right steps, right? Because you are graded on a curve. And so just knowing that information up front, or making sure you don't go in with your chip on your shoulder, and know that you do not know everything, and be open to correction, be open to listening to upperclassmen and listening to other people who have been through it already, to actually help you do the right things and get the grades. Okay. Number 4. Law school will change your life because it forces you to reckon with stupid and often wrong and just, how can you think that type of people, right? And so what I mean by this is, literally, you're going to be living in the real world when you're in law school, because you may come across people who have ideas, beliefs that just do not conform with your ideas and your beliefs, but also, more importantly, maybe it's fundamentally just adverse to what you have learned into your personal history, your own life, right? Someone may think like all Black people are XYZ, right? And you're just like, now you're an idiot, right? But it forces you to reckon with that, and you can actually learn to have intelligent conversations with these people, although some of them it's not worth it. I ain't even gonna lie, because like, whew, okay, but it does force you to do that, and so it does prepare you for the real world in that sense, prepares you for the legal world in that sense. And I will tell you, okay, I have seen some briefs written by some lawyers, and I'm just like, how? Like, I'll read the brief and I'll think, oh, this person is pro se, because what they're saying makes absolutely no sense. Like, this is crazy. And then I'll go look and it's submitted by an attorney. It's like, how did you get through law school and how did you pass the bar? Because this makes no sense, okay? But anyway, so it does prepare you in that sense. It does give you a broader perspective. It does prepare you for what you are going to be seeing when you are out there in the real world. And that transitions into my next thing. It gives you the truth about the corporate world. And what I mean by this is law school prepares you for the truth about the corporate world, because you may not know this, but promotions or advancements or whatever it may be, or like how you get a job or how you get in or the level you come in and all that good stuff, doesn't necessarily depend on your accolades, doesn't necessarily depend on how well you did or how smart you are or all these other things that you would expect it to depend on, right? Merit, not necessarily, okay? A lot of the corporate world is really goes with who you know, number one, how much sway that person who you know has, and you know, and a couple of other factors. But what I'm trying to say here is, when you're in law school, the people who do well in law school, like I said, they do well because they know what to do. They know the steps to take. It doesn't necessarily mean they're smarter than you. It doesn't necessarily mean they've studied harder than you. In fact, I would say that there are people who studied harder than me who didn't graduate with honors. It just means that you knew the right steps to take. You took those right steps and it worked out in your favor. And it's kind of the same way in that corporate world, right? And so if you hear someone like, how did they get that job? Or like, that's so crazy, I couldn't even get an interview, whatever, and I have better grades and I have this and da da da. Well, they probably knew someone who could get them in the door. Well, they probably had someone saying their name in the room. Well, how did they make partner? Well, they probably made friends with the managing partner, you know? And so law school prepares you for the corporate world in that sense, and understanding that not everything is about your grades. Not everything is merit based. You still need to make the right connections. You still need to have that coach. You still need to have that mentor. You still need to have that person that is going to be going to bat for you when you are not in the room. Without that, you're going to be, of course, you'll probably still get to wherever it is you're trying to go. It just may take longer, or it may be a different path that you have to take. So I just think law school does prepare you for that in the real sense. And especially if you choose to do like OCI, on-campus interviews for like big law firms and such, you'll really get insight into that, like how that works. Oh, I kind of talked about this already, but law school will also prepare you for real life, especially if you are a KJD. That just means you went straight through, you know, kindergarten straight to law school. After undergrad, you went straight to law school, you didn't work. And again, that's because of the people you're gonna meet, the things you're gonna see, the things you're gonna learn, the people you're gonna talk to, what you're gonna hear. You know, it just prepares you for the real world, right? A 9-to-5 job, having to actually stick to a schedule, having to actually be disciplined. It just prepares you for all of that, particularly if you are KJD. And I do think that's a benefit, because it gives you that learning experience, especially if you didn't have it before. Number 7, law school, of course, can change your life because you can make tons of money, okay? Especially if you want to go into big law, you can make tons of money. I mean, currently right now, the big law starting salary for a first-year associate is $215 grand. So of course you can make tons of money, and I do not need to tell you on this channel how making money and having money is life-changing. And no, wanting to make money is not bad. And no, having money is not bad. If you were an asshole when you were poor, you're still gonna be an asshole when you're rich. If you're a generous person when you're poor, you're gonna be a generous person when you're rich. And in fact, having money gives you the opportunity to do more of what you want. It gives you an opportunity to be able to make a bigger difference in the world. So also, don't let anyone tell you you shouldn't go to law school, or you shouldn't want to be an attorney just to make money. I disagree. You can want to be an attorney because you want to make money, and you can still want to make a difference in your community. You can donate to the ACLU. You can donate to causes that you like because you have that money. You can't donate to anybody if you're poor. You can donate to political candidates that you want, that you like, because they're going to make a difference. Can't do that if you're poor, right? You can donate to causes. You can help people out. You can do so much more when you actually have this money, and law school does give you that opportunity if you choose to go that big law route. And then there's, of course, other opportunities that you can still take where you can still make a decent amount of money. Maybe you want to change your family's living situation, maybe whatever it may be, right? Law school can change your life, of course, because there is that potential to make a lot of money. There's a whole nother video on, there is not a whole nother video, but it will be a whole nother video on going into big law and all that good stuff. Maybe comment down below, let me know. Oh, I kind of touched on this already. You have the opportunity to make a big difference as an attorney. Of course, you have a legal education. Once you take and pass the bar, you're officially licensed, and you have an opportunity to use your skills and put them to good use. Whether that's in the corporate sector, maybe you want to help out small businesses, whether that's in the public defense, like wherever it may be, you have an opportunity to make a big difference. And that big difference for you can be donating money. That big difference, if you don't have the money, can be donating time, right? There's just so many different things. It can be donating knowledge, it could be volunteering. There's so many different opportunities for you as an attorney to use your skills and put them to good use. So this video was all about how being an attorney and how law school ultimately can change your life. I hope you enjoyed it. Let me know down below which one of the tips resonated with you, and what, if any, other law school / attorney videos you guys would like to see. Again, I encourage you to check out the link in my bio and see my membership community if you are considering applying to law school, or you are in law school and want help graduating at the top of your class, getting A's and landing a big law job. That is how I work with every single one of my law school clients. It is in my law school community. So again, you guys, make sure you check out the law school playlist, and thank you so much for watching, and I will see you on my next one. Bye.